Somehow, some way, A Christmas Story has become a Christmas miracle and has turned into a classic Christmas movie. This movie was played all the time as a kid. They had 24-hour marathons of this movie. And I have to admit, I really like it. It's just an off-the-beaten-path Christmas movie, and it excels in every way. So now we get a board game, or rather a card game, based on the universe of what you're trying to do. Now, to be honest, the game doesn't really feel like Christmas Story. There's really no plot that can be put into a board game, really, to be accomplished. So I feel like the game does okay with what it's given. The cards all have art it's art, not stills, from the movie. You have the bullies that are in it. You don't want them in front of you, and you're trying to get the decoder ring, and you're trying to get the BB gun. That all makes sense within the scope of the movie, so it does pull you in a little bit. But this is a deduction game and not a social deduction game. You're trying to figure out where the BB is, a decoder, and not have any bullies in front of you because you don't want the bullies around you. And I guess that makes sense while you're unwrapping presents with the bullies, that bullies might be in the presents. Doesn't make any sense at all. So just kind of roll with that. The IP is there, but it's not super strong in what you're doing. But if you squint a little bit, you can't see it. And that's kind of how I feel about the IP. Let's put that aside. For a deduction game, I think it works pretty good. One of the things that you can just luck out, it's happened a couple times in our games, we just happen to have the BB gun and decoder in front of you, and guess what? You're probably going to win fairly quickly. But that's very rare, and it's very lucky. Most of the time, you get the game going. It's a really fun deduction game, and I really feel like it's a really fun gateway deduction game. It's a really fun game to play with the kids, the family, maybe somebody who doesn't play a lot of games. They can pick up on it fairly quickly with just a little bit of effort. I think the game succeeds at that. And while the IP doesn't really give you into the material all that greatly, it's enough to pull you into the game, and it works at what it's trying to accomplish. As a deduction game, I like it. It's simple. It's understandable. You can play quite a few hands back to back. Somebody can leave. Somebody else can come in. It works really, really well. And I have to say, I really like this game. I could recommend this game as a Christmas-themed game for your family to play. I can easily recommend it for just a deduction game, too. I think that speaks volumes about this IP game. So the Christmas Story game has been a hit for us. I like it quite a bit. I will recommend it to you, and it's an absolute keeper, guys. No joking. So it's a Christmas Story, a major card game. You can see the leg lamp here, which is so famous, and little Ralphie looking out through the window. It's a little small portable box. There's quite a few of these that were kind of released this year. And this one happens to play 3 to 6 players. There's no time limit given on the box, which is a little weird. You're going to open it up. You're going to see some cards that you'll have, which are some items from the game. You're going to have a couple paintings of the bullies that will be from the game. So it's original artwork. And you have the decoder ring and the BB gun that will be in here. So the card quality is okay. It's not great. Honestly, you're probably going to want to sleeve this at some point because this is a deduction game and you don't want any kind of chips on this or whatever. You're going to have the leg, which will be part of the game. You're going to have the little lamp. It's a really cute little piece, but be a little bit careful with it. And then underneath this, I just kind of bagged up everybody's little tiles, these little small, they look like bows you would put on a wrapper, but you got enough here to play 6. And then you have the rules at the back. So the components are pretty good. I mean, these are small. The lamp is the attraction here, I suppose. And then the cards, while I like the artwork on them, they work just fine. After repeated plays, you're probably going to need to sleeve these. Here's the rule book. It's got a picture of the box. It's going to unravel here, and you'll be able to learn how to play, set up over here, picture of setup, and then how to play. Really, this is the entire game over here. And then a little bit of advertisement and how to use the leg lamp, if you get that, and to win the game. Probably can read this in 5 minutes, maybe 8 if you're a slow reader, and be up and playing in no time at all. So setup's pretty easy. In every game, you're going to need the 2 bullies, and you're going to need a decoder and the BB gun. Based on the number of players, you will take the rest of their present cards and shuffle them up. So I'm just going to show you a 3-player game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presents. And you'll take the rest of these, put them back in the box. And you'll take these cards, and you will shuffle everything up. So you have all the cards shuffled up, and you're ready to go. So everybody's going to have 2 cards put down in front of them, kind of like this. And I'll kind of put that there so you can see. And then you have 3 cards in the center. Once you have all of this set up, you are ready to play the game. So on your turn, you have one of 3 actions you can do. You can swap with a card in the center, and when you go in the center, you can take a look at it and then put one of these peek tokens on. They're rather small. And the rules are a little ambiguous. It doesn't really say if you can or not, but we play it with kids. Kids will have to look at this whenever they want, but adults have to memorize it. So you know what you have here, and you have a peak token on it. Or you can trade with somebody else, and you can offer them a dare. So I can say, hey, I want to trade this card with that card. Now, if they accept it, that's fine. We swap cards. I'm allowed to peek at it. Ooh, the bunny suit. And then I would put a peek token on it to signify that I have seen that card. Now, let's go back in time and reset this. And let's say he denied the trade. He doesn't want to swap with me. If he does not want to swap with me, that's fine. He can say no. But then I get to take the lamp. And the lamp will now be with me. Then my opponent must choose one of their cards, and that card will be face up for the rest of the game. So now everybody has a little bit of information. So what can I do with the lamp? The lamp would allow me to triple dog dare somebody. So let's say the next turn it goes all the way around, and he still didn't want to trade it. Now I can force him to trade with me. I'd give up the lamp, and I triple dog dared him, which means he had to. So now I know what is there. So with the lamp, I can force a trade, and they no longer have the agency to stop it. Another thing I could do, let's say that didn't happen. Let's go back in time, and it was set up like this. I could just look at my own card. Normally, I couldn't do that. Oh, it's a gold fly swatter. Okay. And I put a peek token on it, signifying that I've already looked at it. And I would give up the lamp for that right. The last thing I could do if I had the lamp is if somebody wanted to dare me, I could refuse the dare and not have to flip one of my cards over. So that's the 3 things that the lamp would allow me to do. So how do I win? On my turn, I can unwrap a present. I would announce that I know where the BB gun and the decoder is. So I would look, okay, there's a BB gun there. There's a decoder there. So I am correct. Then I could flip over my cards, showing there are not any bullies there. Then I would win the game. So let's reset that, but instead, let's pretend like there is a bully in front of me. So I would show the BB gun. I would look, verify I know where the decoder's at, and then I'd flip my cards over. Oops, I had a bully. Therefore, I would lose the game. My cards would go face up, and I'm out. So let's try a different scenario. Let's say that I look here, and I was wrong. Oh, it's not the BB decoder gun. So I was incorrect. I don't tell anybody that. And now I'm out of the game, and I would lose. You get 1 shot to unwrap the present, and that's how you play the Christmas Story game. Who should buy this game? Easily, fans of the Christmas Story. Anybody maybe want to take a little card game and play it at their Christmas party, or play it with family maybe who doesn't game a whole lot. If you enjoy deduction games, it's a really fairly simple deduction game that works really well. This works with kids, it works with families, non-gamers. I think even gamers could play it a little bit if they were in a festive mood. I mean, you're not going to sit down and it's going to be like a 2-hour experience or anything for gamers, right? You're not going to go to a con. I can't wait to play that new Christmas Story game. But it's not intended to be. It's intended to be a family game, something you play at Christmas time and kind of reminds you of the movie, the characters are there, and it works. It just works. And I had a really good time with it. And a lot of these Christmas-themed games that are coming out, this is probably one of my favorite ones. And I highly recommend you check this one out, the Christmas Story game.